Hey everyone, welcome to our first long YouTube video. We're just going to do a casual kind of differences and look at the SAM Junctional tourniquet versus the Compression Works AAJTS, which is the abdominal aortic tourniquet. What's the S stand for?
Super?
I think super. I probably should just look. It's on the stabilized. So yeah, more acronyms. They're always growing in the medical field. But
Awesome.
look at these two junctional tourniquets. So this is the AAJTS, if you haven't seen it. Pretty cool device, actually. They're both cool. I mean, better than wound packing sometimes. And then the SAM comes in this nifty kit, which we'll kind of pull out. I don't want to get too into it because I'm just going to have Mason kind of, go over. Okay, let's put that back. Overall them, so in a little bit. But let's just get into some of the specs real quick. You can see the differences. So, the AAJT comes pre-assembled. The SAM does require some minor assembly prior to using it. The AAJT can fit a 10-inch to 72-inch circumference, so it's a pretty wide range. That's actually pretty small, especially if you're doing like someone's pelvis. A 10-inch circumference is tiny. The SJT is 32 inches to 55 inches, so a little smaller margin there, and you're not supposed to use the SAM on pediatrics, so children. The AAJT can work on the axilla, so the armpits, the abdomen right here, the groin, so in this space here, and then the pelvis for a pelvic binder. That's pretty cool, multi-use there. The SJT is for the axilla and the groin only. The AAJT requires 250 millimeters of mercury to stop a bleed, whereas the SAM is 700 millimeters of mercury. All that means
Yeah,
is,
for those of us who aren't
yeah,
super well versed in it, what's that?
nerdism. So that just means how much pressure it requires to stop the bleed. And so if you're looking at it, just doing some basic math, it's roughly just under 3 times the amount for the SAM to stop a bleed as it is for the AAJT. But we're just going to take a look and see how they actually apply now. So Mason, you want to introduce yourself so people know kind of your background and such?
Hi, I'm Mason.
That's a little more than that.
So I thought it'd be kind of cool to just throw me into putting these things on. To put it on record, I am not a super cool guy. I've had like CLS training. I still do like reserve stuff, so I have to keep up on my CLS certifications every year, things like that. But I do a little bit of instructing for TCCC stuff, but I am not a professional medical responder. I'm not a paramedic. I'm not running around doing this stuff professionally, other than very narrow circumstances in the military. So I just thought it would be cool to be like, hey, with no instructions to these things, I've never seen these things prior to this. This is the first look I'm getting at them. We're just going to see if I can figure out how to put it on using the basic instructions that they put in there. And then when I screw it up, inevitably, Ben's going to step in and make sure that I move on to the next step in a relatively timely manner for everybody. But I just think it's cool to see that kind of stuff so you know, like, hey, what's the layperson think of this, and how is it when they just have to pick this thing up and jump right into it without any prior knowledge. So that should be pretty interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, and I wonder how much, like, even if you had like some minor training similar to like a tourniquet, how applicable these might be for like a layperson as opposed to a professional responder of some sort. Because when you get a new device, generally you're going to get training on it. So let's get into it. I will be your dummy. For ease of use, we'll just have you do groin applications because both those can do it. I feel like the axilla requires a little more. We'll get into that one after it too, possibly if we have time. But let's so that people know we're not just gaming this. You haven't done it yet. All right.
So you want to do this one first?
Oh yeah, let's just screw it. Yeah, do that one. So
this is the AAJT Super or Stabilized?
Super Stabilized.
Super Stabilized.
This is the newest version of their all right, let me edit this guy down here.
So where's your bleed?
So we'll do it in the groin. This is because they're both groin applications.
Front, then?
Man, my lucky day. Mason gets to apply medical devices to my groin.
This is the kind of video my wife thinks that we make all the time.
This is the video we make all the time.
I don't know, is that high enough? So I have to get behind you?
So there's also stuff written on it, which is not cheating, because they did that on purpose. So you can see.
It's upside down.
I don't know if that truly matters, to be honest with you, but.
Well, I couldn't read it upside down. Okay. It's not going well so far. Secure device around. Connect ladder strap until red meets. All right, that's this.
position bladder over.
Yep, so there you go. It's going to go into my... I can even probably lay back for this one because it's the likelihood of me being seated. You know, I'm gonna go fully... Oh, this guy down.
We're going dynamic prone.
Oh, nice.
Take a little nap. All right, there we go. That's
This is the easiest video I've ever had to do.
that seems more realistic, I guess. Use ratcheting buckle to completely tighten.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
So this?
Did you get the initial tightness? Treat it like a tourniquet. Initial tightness. That's why they have you put it in the red.
Oh, hold
It's
on.
a little bit of training. Yeah, so you want to get your initial tightness done.
Sit up. You got the thing.
Sit up, dude. I'm a casualty. I can't help you.
Well, it's bound up right here.
Well, that sounds like your problem, not mine.
All right, there we go. So this kind of reminds me of a soft T wide.
A little bit, yeah. Soft T-wide vibes. This is just the Gen 5 soft tourniquet now, for being nerds. They've changed the name.
Oh, is that tight enough?
I do like the soft tourniquets a lot, actually.
I don't know what the gauge is for this. All right, now inflate the bladder. You feel it?
Yeah, it's not stopping anything yet.
How much inflation does this do?
It does actually a lot.
Oh, sorry.
No, you
is
keep
that
going.
good?
No, don't stop. I'll tell you when. Oh, that's working, actually. You keep going. It's not fully there yet. So, like anything to stop bleeding, it's not going to be comfortable. Oh, that's good. Keep going. I got to get it fully applied. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't want to keep going because then you're just going to do it back to me even worse.
No, that's okay. You know me.
Is that good? And then it's got a quick release.
Okay, but like, we keep it on. So let's look. Yeah, so it's kind of bowing out that way. I think it's supposed to go a little more straight in, but
Yeah, it's probably the way I placed it.
that looks pretty good. I mean, you could keep going too, because it says tighten this until green, right? So you're gonna push this until the green guy is there. So really, it's gonna be about right about there.
Okay. Oh, all right. So then this is good, and then you'd want to just like tape this shit up like you would with a tourniquet?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's secure my tails, but I would just kind of like tuck it or whatever you got. But like, so let's, yeah, I think that.
And then that tab obviously means.
So let's see if
release
is there a quick release on here?
Let's hope so.
There it
It
is.
says all you gotta do is pull the tab to tighten it.
It's like any ratchet strap. It should have a. This is hard to do when you're getting your. Well, anyway, you can just do this. Look.
Okay.
Open her up. So that was it felt like a good application. It might be a little wonky. I'll have to do it on you.
Yeah.
But I mean, that definitely felt like, I don't have a Doppler, so I mean, I'm not an expert, but. See if you can figure out how to remove the device.
There we go.
Okay. So, oh yeah, some good pressure therapy. So, if we're gonna look at it, it basically just expands this airbag essentially, and shoves it. It's got this grippy material, which is cool. I like that. And it pushes it right into your bleed, and it has a much bigger purchase area than I actually thought it would. It's about that size, so you don't have to get. He wasn't like precisely on that V where the artery runs, but it was over it at some point, so it did. I felt it pushing on it.
Longer, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but that was pretty good. One thing is noticing is like this is an adhesive on here, and it is it's pulling right off it. So I don't know.
There is some looks like
It's
shock cord that
retained
kinda
a
helps
shock
keep it on.
cord, but I don't know how much I like that. It's like this sticky stuff is fairly worthless because like let's say what happens if this happens, right? Like it's attached and it's not going to go anywhere. But what is the purpose of all the sticky stuff if it's not holding it in place?
So these are supposed to be one-time use things.
They are single use. So like there is that. We're using it for training, obviously, but I'm just wondering in a field environment, if like a bunch of water and stuff, if it slid around or whatever. Blood, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be happening too if you're applying this. So, yeah, but I mean, initial impressions, you got it on still.
Yeah, I just feel it's not nearly as intuitive as a basic, like, obviously a basic tourniquet is. So it's definitely something that you should train on, probably before you just run around and think that you're like an expert on putting these tourniquets on.
Yes, and so it even I do like that it has this on here. So it says abdominal use 1 hour. So if you're using it to occlude the aorta above the pelvis, it's 1 hour. For all junctional, it's 4 hours. So it actually gives you that right here, which is cool. And then this is a little confusing, this little graphic here, like this table. I'm not really entirely sure what it's all getting at there. I mean, I understand it, but like to read it, it's like, okay.
Junctional use.
So then but it does have decent instructions. This thing's kind of in the way, but it says, secure device around, connect ladder strap until red meets red. So all that means is you're going to put this guy in and go until the red is on the red right here. And then you're not going to tighten it anymore, because then it removes your ability to tighten it further. Then you're going to put it and position it, and then once it's positioned, cinch it down with this, essentially taking out slack. Once the slack's out, you tighten this guy down, and I would get that, it says use ratchet buckle till complete tightening. It doesn't say how much you should do, but I would assume to just tighten it down as much as you can. It's less you got to do in the air.
Yeah.
So just cinch it down plus the ratcheting, and then you're going to use this guy, which he's velcroed on, so it can be removed out, but you're going to do this guy so you tighten it. It's just like a blood pressure cuff. It's the same mechanism. So you're going to tighten this guy to the right is tight, and then inflate it until this little bulb here is a pressure indicator, and it'll pop up once it's reached, so it'll be pushing on it like this. So as you push on it, it pushes this guy out. But until the green comes up, which is 250, I believe, is what it said. Sick.
So don't self-destruct.
Let's see if we can self-destruct. I mean, it's going to have the pressure, but that's what it looks like.
Oh, dang.
It's like a kind of
So it's a wedge. I thought it was,
Yeah, it's not a completely flat thing. It's a wedge, so.
I did notice as I was putting it on, I'm sure, obviously, if you were trained on this, it wouldn't matter. But the instructions right here, as soon as you actually put the strap on, it covers up most of the instructions.
That's what I was saying. The strap
so
placement's
kind of hard for me to
It'd be cool if they moved this over here.
dig for it. Yeah,
This is small things that,
But obviously, this is way faster.
Yeah, I
than
didn't do any of the R&D or anything to like make an awesome medical device. All that goes in with that. So like, props to them. I'm not shitting on it. It's just.
But if anybody wants to hire Ben to do that, I'm sure he's available for it.
Oh, totally. Overall, I mean, yeah, wound packing sucks. You should always still know how to do it though. Like people are like, is this going to replace wound packing? Like, no, nothing will replace the basics, because the likelihood of you carrying one of these, especially as a lay responder or it being immediately available, isn't super high. This is more something like you carrying a medical ruck, or as like a first responder or someone who's going to be, doing combat operations especially. That's when this would play into, I think, the most. Or if you had like a bigger kit that you're able to have access to. But the thing is, what are you going to do while this is getting prepped and out? Because it does require you to remove packaging, attached and placed. I would be doing wound packing until this thing is available. And if I control the bleed with wound packing, I was like, I would still maybe apply this after I've bandaged it, just to be really sure. This thing looks like it's a little more stable, possibly, than a wound pack. But this is a good device. Like, I wouldn't delay putting this on with wound packing. It even says that in the TCCC guidelines. But definitely wound pack while you get it out is the big thing with it, or any junctional device, really.
Yeah, I think for sure if Uncle Sam's footing the bill for your medical stuff, then, awesome. You should definitely get some of these, just based on my initial impression. I'm excited to check out the other one just because I want to see if it's a little more intuitive than this one is. But again, I'm just a normal dude, right? I'm not a super awesome medical guy, so. But I guess we'll take a look at the next one and see if that's any easier.
Yeah, let's just do it. No cuts. This is raw.
One take.
One take wonder.
All right, so this. Okay, holy shit. Well, I noticed right off the bat there's like parts to this.
You're very observant.
Yeah. Oh, there is an instruction booklet.
Well, when someone's bleeding to death, just pull that thing out. Sir, 1 second.
Give me a minute
need
here.
to read the instructions.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest, man. This is like some space shit right here. Okay. Okay, this time this thing goes over the wound. We don't need instructions, we're men. Oh, that's not for this.
Well, technically it is, but is it?
Let's see. Okay.
Sam loves this clip design. They put it on everything.
Oh, now I get it though. It seemed a little more.
It's gonna go right here. So don't be afraid of my crotch, so to speak. Put it in nicer terms. Put it. So see this V?
Yes,
You're gonna
the
put
V.
it right into that V. That very distinct V that I work hard for. Not just kidding. Oh, I don't like this one already. I can tell this isn't gonna be good. So you want to pull it till it pops. You'll hear the little buttons. You see the little buttons poke out when enough pressure is applied?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how all the
Wow.
SAM stuff really functions.
Okay. Where's the little thing here? All right, so you gotta screw the thing in yourself on this one.
Oh,
Is that a little more immediate?
oh, it's terrible.
Oh, I could see that.
It's like just someone's thumb. The other one's like a big airbag. This is like literally someone's thumb just shoving into.
I think that's about as much as I can pump into this thing.
No, you need to do more. Yep, keep going. That's not stopping anything yet. That's just really uncomfortable. Oh. So this one,
I might have placed it incorrectly, but
it needs,
that's like
so
as far
to be honest,
as
it needs to go to the right a hair. So we'll show them the pressure point afterwards, but it has to be way more precise, or I can tell where it's placed because it is a little too midline right
This is
now.
about as much as I can.
So remove the air. It feels like a psoas release. Terrible. So it needs to go this way a hair. Oh, well, not easy to adjust, is it? All right, great.
Nope. Gonna have to undo it.
So that part definitely kind of sucks about this. Is adjusting it.
So a little,
Further.
so right in here is where it needs to go.
Well, you need to scoot your ass up then.
It's not my ass, that's the problem.
Well, it's got to go. The back has to go.
Well, you have to get it under there. What if your patient's caked up?
Is that better?
Yeah, let's give that a shot. I think it's honestly supposed to go right here, but
Oh.
yeah, because it's supposed to be the groin, not the. So let me help you. So, buttocks.
Huh?
A little bit this way. You can already tell this is. Let's give that a shot. See, when you tighten it, it pulls it over, so you need to like
the problem.
shimmy it, so it's like on the hip almost, and it'll slide in to the appropriate spot. That's better. Okay, so a learning curve on the placement.
Oh, you're not ready for this?
Yeah, I know.
Didn't do anything.
It's doing something. I don't like it. Oh, I don't like that at all.
There it goes.
It's like slid in. Yeah, keep going. Okay. Yeah, okay.
That's about it. All right.
Go ahead and, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this thing. Oh, this is actually my initial impression of it too. So, I mean, if you positioned it correctly, would it work? Yes. I'm not saying it won't.
So there also are there's an additional attachment too.
No, so there's two. So in case you can put it
another location, or
yeah, I think it goes on
Yeah,
like
just adheres.
possibly to that guy. So it also has this attachment, so you can put this little piece into there, and then it shoves that
oh god,
into the area. So I mean, that's additional option there. That's what that's for. But if we look at this one, where's the pump? So if we look at this one, so I gotta make sure it keeps it frame. So it attaches with like kind of an Ivy style attachment piece here. Same kind of concept. Then as you push it out, it grows to that. But essentially, your positioning has to be, you have to get that part over the artery. So a lot more room for error on that one. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but it does require a little more precise fit. I think it is a little more convoluted, to be honest.
So I'm looking at the instructions.
That's a good place to start.
So attach. So for axilla area bleeds, you are supposed to use that
Yeah, so this is for the armpit
plastic piece.
right in here, which we'll do another video on that later.
They also, this strap that we ripped off initially, this is for running over your shoulder
Yeah, so that they both
to the back.
have
of
a
it.
similar.
And it says too, you can also put a pump thing on this strap as well for up in the shoulder.
Right, so you can kind of visualize that. They put the pump piece right there on the strap. I just don't. That makes sense. So that's how you're supposed to do it. Because if you put it on the center piece and you had to tighten that, I just don't know how well that'll work, to be honest. Just looking at it as like a medic, because cinching down circumferentially around the chest is generally not great for ventilation of your patient.
You might stop them from bleeding, but they're not
Yeah,
going to be able to breathe.
but now I can't breathe, so I don't know how tight that has to be. And with the auxiliary strap going there, I mean, I don't know how positionally or tight that'll be either, but it's at least going to be compressing one side of the chest, which you'd have to do for the hemorrhage, but with the circumferential wrap, because I know the AHAT goes around one shoulder, so it's the opposite. You're not supposed to, it has to be wrapped around the outside of the arm, not underneath the armpit, so. All right, and you can kind of see it gives a diagram of where you're supposed to place it right there. So if you're looking at someone for a male,
Yeah, so it's basically over your butt.
yeah, it's over the lower part of your buttocks in the back, and then like basically the center of the crotch is
Yeah,
like
so
the most layman term I can think of.
One of the reasons it might have been so
like if
my
I was
placement sucked.
if I was wearing my pants, I don't know how do I word this without getting canceled. If I was wearing my pants like I am right now, where they're at about basically at like my pelvis, top of my pelvis, you'd put it in the center of the fly, right? But if someone just has an alternate style where they like to wear droopier pants, no judgment, you would not put it center of the fly there because that'd be too low. But essentially, yeah, you can just look at this piece. It does require, and to be honest, the first one you had was not occluding it. It was off the side of it, even though it was in the right orientation. It said you go a little lower, but
Yeah, I definitely didn't have it low.
so I don't know. Initial impressions. As the patient, I preferred the AHATS. If I got to be honest, you're gonna feel this in the next video, but overall,
Oh, good.
they would both occlude the bleeding there. If properly placed, like any medical device. I think ease of use, the compression works one, and this is like, personally, not being paid to say any of this, because I'm not. But
I am. He's not.
yeah.
No, none of them. We're not paid to say any of this stuff either. I literally
we were
like
just
just
given
got
both
looks.
of these.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just got to look at this and like, for me, it was a little more. I thought that this one would be simpler, but then when I opened the package and like 4 extra pieces fell out of it on the ground, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do.
I do like that one's self-contained.
Yeah, it is nice. That it's
It
all
doesn't
together.
need to have its, like, it comes in packaging, but you can take it out and literally shove that somewhere. Because as a medic, I love taking things out of packaging. It's like my favorite thing to do. Medical directors everywhere hate him. But it's one simple trick. Yeah, just removing things from packaging. So, because it's not, that one I don't need to be a sterile, it's not an invasive procedure, which is awesome, so it doesn't need to be sterilized or anything. And once you're in the field, most stuff isn't sterilized. So, anyway, this is about the end of the video. I don't want to ramble. No one likes watching that. But if you have any questions or stuff, go ahead and comment down below. Follow us on Instagram as well. We're a little more active there, but we're trying to get the YouTube up and running with more of these kind of casual sit down and play with stuff because we make nice long videos out of it.
When's the last video you uploaded on YouTube?
That was like a week ago.
Okay.
So I upload everything from Instagram there usually.
So the site is up and running, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you can also like, buy stuff if you want to.
Oh, I always forget to do that. Yeah.
Not these yet. Maybe someday.
Maybe
but
someday. Yeah, I need to
we're
make a
gonna
little more
test and
capital
evaluate them a little bit more
to
first.
be stocking a $500, $300.
Yeah, I think that's important to note too.
The prices.
But like we mentioned, the whole if the government's footing the bill thing for it. This one, the SAM one is about $350, and the AAJS.
AJT.
AJT.
AAJT.
yes.
Abdominal aortic junctional tourniquet stabilized.
Yes, this one is about $500. So they are a little bit pricey, but if you are working for some kind of agency, I can definitely see these being
Yeah, that's not that expensive.
an
if you're doing,
advantage
like, a
for you.
government
Yeah,
purchase, you know,
yeah. On the government bill, that's not expensive.
But for the average person, yeah, like they're hemming and hawing over a $30 tourniquet. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to be going out.
Cost
and
prohibitive.
maybe the guy in his like super lifted vehicle that goes out and like wants a beefed up
Or
medical
his
kit,
bunker
bunkers
in the
and,
desert.
That he's going to self-apply a junctional tourniquet.
Oof.
It
It was hard enough for me to figure out how to put it on yourself.
Maybe you don't though. Okay, that concludes the video. Thanks for watching.